All right, guys, Mr. Love here. I am up before everybody else at the conference to make sure that I had just a moment to record a video for you guys and walk you through what I would like you to have been able to complete this week. Okay, so hopefully, if I can minimize this or at least put this in the corner of my screen, it'll keep going and I can look at haiku and life will be good. And also, just a couple of funny side notes. Number one, I realized that I wore the same sweater the last 2 Fridays, which isn't really a big deal until I record a video for you guys and you think that I own no other clothes. So there you go. I own other clothes, and that made me really happy that I was wearing something else today. I really like the fact that you guys went through your Unit 1 MSL checkpoint. You got that done. You retook the test. Thank you for emailing me and messaging me. I will make sure that Unit 2 gives you multiple attempts and make some other changes that you guys asked on those. I really appreciate that great communication. That helped me out a lot. And make sure that you finish your constructive response. I see 2 responses in there, and I'll get to grading those. So, Unit 2 talks about national, state, and local government. And this is an important thing that we need to spend a lot of time on. If we spend time talking about the national government and you understand the national government in detail and what the legislative branch does, the legislative branch makes the law, the executive branch enforces the law, and the judicial branch interprets the law, and you understand those basic principles, then you're going to really understand state government and local government. So we're going to take a lot of time in Unit 2 to talk about those things. So with the legislative branch, what I want you to understand is that we have a bicameral legislature. Our legislature consists of 2 houses, a House of Representatives with 435 members and a Senate with 100 members. And those 2 organizations, they work together in what we call our Congress. And it is Congress's job, plain and simple, to make law. That is your Civics 101 that you need to know. That the legislative branch makes the law. All right, so I'll give you guys a little bit more detail on how Congress is organized in that video. And then you had a Help Wanted ad that you were supposed to create that just tells me what is the qualifications to be a member of the House of Representatives? What is the qualification to be a senator in the United States Senate? And upload those probably in a PowerPoint file would be easiest for you to do. There's a little bit of background noise. I apologize for that. So you also have some notes there that I would like you to complete. So make sure you go back through and do that. I will reopen those longer. I think they all close today at midnight, but I'll go back and I'll reopen those because I know that you guys are working hard to get caught up and stay caught up because this course moves fast. You have your almost, for the executive branch, the legislative branch makes the law. Executive branch enforces the law. That means that they carry out the law. And so you have a brief discussion of the office of the president and the vice president and the 7 roles of the president. So what I want you guys really to be familiar with is the fact that it's the president's job to enforce any laws that Congress passes. He's our chief diplomat. He goes and talks to members of state of other country. He entertains foreign leaders. He's the economic leader. He's our legislative leader. When things go right in our country, we give credit to the president. When things go wrong, he's the one who gets the blame. We really look to him as the leader. Even though the Founding Fathers wanted the legislative branch to be the most influential branch of government, because they talked about that first in the Constitution, the president has really grown to be that in today's society. So you have a discussion there on presidential hats. And basically, tell me which of those roles of the president that you have in your PowerPoint notes there, which of the roles of the president do you think is most important and why? And then lastly, in that executive branch handout, you had an assignment that I asked you to map out the federal government. So there's a great example there at the bottom. I'm kind of circling with my mouse, even though I know that this is recording my face. But where you tell me, what does the legislative branch of government do? It makes the law. It consists of a Congress with a House of Representatives and a Senate. And then I want you guys to do the checks and balances between the 2. Like the legislative branch can overturn a presidential veto, the president can veto laws, etc. Okay? make sure you get that done. That's an assignment that I have my kids in my classes do, and it just kind of takes all that knowledge that we talked about three branches of government and sums it back together. All right. And then lastly, the judicial branch. The judicial branch, of government interprets our laws. And so this is probably the one that you're least familiar with, but it talks about three levels of federal courts. And you need to be familiar with those levels of federal courts because those could show up on a final exam or on an MSL checkpoint. You want to be ready for that. But at the lowest to highest, we have the district courts at the federal level, the United States Courts of Appeals, and then the United States Supreme Court, which has 9 justices and is the final say in all the courts. Whatever the Supreme Court rules is what goes. So then you have a couple of assignments on the judicial branch, but I think that I just decided as I was making this video that I'm actually going to go through and close a couple of these assignments and just send you guys an updated video as to what I want you to be able to complete. But go ahead, and this is just for judicial branch, go ahead and finish the legislative branch, finish the executive branch. Get those two done because that's really important. And then we'll wrap up the courts because we will actually come back in Unit 5 and talk about the courts again. So that's going to be okay. Other thoughts that I had, first and foremost, you guys are doing a super job. Keep it up. I really appreciate you responding to my messages. You're getting your missing work turned in, and you're really doing a good job on your work and taking your time with it. And I really appreciate that because I don't like grading crappy work, and I haven't had that problem with you guys. So thank you. A second thing is I think that I'm going to take a little bit more time and try to walk you guys through, if not day by day, but every couple days with a video and try to be a little bit more thorough in explaining assignments and what I want done, completed every day. I'll try to put that in the announcements block. I'll put that in a message to you guys and embed that in a YouTube video, kind of like I've been doing. It's the easiest way I found. And hopefully that'll help us keep up a really good pace. But thank you guys for the work that you're doing. I really appreciate it. And have a great weekend. Get your work done.